It's become almost an epidemic in our culture. What can parents do to prevent child obesity? We'll talk about that, and I'll give you 5 specific things that you can do. The rates of obesity worldwide are increasing, especially in North America, for children, preschool-age children. Some of the studies are estimating that 10% of preschool-age children have an obesity problem. By the time they get into school, those numbers double. 1 in 5. And it's trending in a negative direction. So we have to be careful about this thing. It's becoming a health crisis that is only going to get worse if we don't intervene. The simple equation is calories in and calories out. Whatever is greater is going to determine the direction of the weight gain or the weight loss. Now, that's the simple equation. Okay, there's a lot of complicating factors, but basically it's calories in versus calories out. What does that mean for our kids? What they eat matters, and what kind of activity they engage in matters. We've also learned that restrictive diets are not particularly helpful for children, and they're not healthy. They need certain kinds of nutrition in order to develop and for their body to grow properly. So I'm not advocating any restrictive diets for children unless your healthcare professional has directed you to do something specific along those lines. We're not going to go that direction. Let's talk about 5 specific tips that will help you as a parent to help your child. Tip number 1, model good behavior. And let's focus on health and fitness rather than weight. It's important to educate our kids, and they have no idea what nutrition is all about until we teach them. So as a parent, it's so important to model that for your children and to show them what it means to eat in a healthy way and to make better choices with snacks or meals. I know this puts some pressure back on you as a parent because you need to model that for them. It doesn't matter what you tell them if you're showing them something very different. So let's own that as parents, shall we? The second tip that I have for you is to focus on the family, not a particular individual. If there is one of your children, for example, who is obese or having a problem with their weight, we don't want to focus on them. This tends to promote guilt and shame, and they feel like they're a little weird or there's something wrong with them. Let's take the focus off of any individual and put it back on the family. So we talk about these things as things that our family is doing to make better choices. Mom's doing it, dad's doing it, all of the kids are doing it to increase the health of the family. That helps the kids who are struggling more than if you were to single them out. Tip number 3, let's make better snack and meal choices. This is about the fuel, okay, the intake of the calories. And let's do that at very specific times. Some of the research is very supportive of having specific meal times and also snack times. So it's not just openly available. And along these lines, don't combine sedentary activity with eating. In other words, let's stay away from turning on the television, for example, and sitting down with a bag of chips. This might be something that you enjoy doing or that is part of your family culture. It's pretty obvious that if we combine eating with sedentary activities, we have a higher tendency to get into some unhealthy patterns. And sometimes that sedentary activity takes the mind off of focusing on the body and what the body's telling us about nutritional needs or being full or other cues that we want our kids to really tune into. So here's a powerful part of this tip. Instead of the sedentary activities, we combine our eating with social connection and family relationships. We're talking about dinner time, for example, or enjoying a snack together while we chat about what's going on, how the day's going, what's happening in your life. Those kinds of things are going to really cement the pattern for your child. That leads me right into the fourth tip, which is to limit the sedentary activity to start with. I keep using this word sedentary. It basically means that you're sitting around doing very little. And usually for our kids, sedentary activity involves some kind of screen. Think about that for a minute. A tablet, a television, a screen where they're watching something passively or engaging in a game that requires very little physical activity. Those are sedentary activities, and we've got to limit them. Most of the smartphones nowadays, and maybe even the tablets, have a feature that allows you to monitor and track screen time. Do this for yourself, and you might be surprised at just how much of that there actually is. Some of the studies that I reviewed in preparing for this particular video suggested that kids are spending upwards of 24 or more hours a week on screen time. That's crazy. And some have even more than that. We need to put limits and parameters around that because kids are easily sucked into it, and as their body sits there without moving around or being active, the calories that they're intaking are having a different effect on their metabolism and their physiology. Let's limit the sedentary activity. That's tip number 4. I'm not going to leave you hanging. If we're taking away that sedentary activity, what are we going to replace it with? Tip number 5, engage in physical activity with your children. I emphasize with them because I want to build your relationship. This will have other positive effects. And it's good for you too. So instead of watching the program on the screen, go out and take a walk. Go for a hike. Visit the park. Go to a museum. Visit some historical site in your town or your neighborhood. There's obvious cultural advantages to this too, but the physical advantages are huge because now we're up and moving, and we're pairing physical activity with a positive experience that they get to have with you, their parent. Engage in physical activities together. Powerful way to wrap up these 5 tips. You've got this. I know parenting can be a challenging thing, but you don't have to do this alone. We have a whole team at Live on Purpose ready to assist you, including myself and Vicki. Jump on a discovery call. You can get there through drpauljenkins.com/breakthrough call. Just remember the breakthrough call. drpauljenkins.com/breakthrough call. We're on your team and we're ready to help.
Wished I'd had a number so